to get the DNA tests on that water bottle and that Kind Bar wrapper, which DNA evidence is compelling evidence, there are still so many other questions that remain unanswered. Notably, Jennifer, where was he this past 6 months? He vanished, according to family and friends. What was he doing? How is he supporting himself? We are just learning in an article that was just posted online at the New York Times that he was in Japan in April, and that was the last time anyone heard from him.
Right, exactly. I mean, he was going on sort of this finding himself type mission, getting in touch with his Zen, if you will. But at some point, everything really took a dark turn. And he was, in fact, talking about 1984, and he was talking about Brave New World, and he was talking about the writing of Kaczynski in some of his writings. So things definitely took a super dark turn. Why?
Yeah, that's the big question. Joe, we're also learning that he was writing during this time that he was in, quote, unbearable pain. In his writings, he apparently was expressing alarm as well as at the world's reliance on smartphones and social media. He seemed frustrated by the modern world. This paints a picture of somebody who's becoming sort of psychologically unhinged.
Yeah, I mean, he's, as we stated once before, when did he go off the rails? Everybody paints this picture of a perfect individual, a silver spoon, wealthy family, went to the best schools and everything, and all of a sudden he just goes off the radar for a little while and off the reservation, and people are wondering where he is. And then, getting phone calls and from messages from friends saying, dude, you're supposed to be at my wedding. Where are you? You got to answer me. So I guess if that didn't raise any red flags with the family, I don't know what will. So apparently maybe he's done this before, maybe he hasn't, maybe they said he's out finding himself. But either way, this is the time period where he's planning everything. This is the time period where he's putting this all together. And he did put a lot of time and thought into this. So it's well thought out and it's well premeditated.
Jennifer, you get a real sense in this emerging picture of what a life of privilege he led. Mangione, while coping with some terrible physical symptoms, quit his job last year and told a friend of his that while the job paid him well, it was, quote, mind-numbingly boring, and he wanted to spend more time doing yoga and reading. I think a lot of people in America might want more time to do that, but we can't afford it.
Yeah, and traveling and everything else he did. There was one thing, though, that was said that I found very interesting. He talked actually not only about brain fog, but he also talked about visual snow. Where have we heard that before? Brian Koberger. I mean, it's just very interesting that both of these individuals at similar timeframes in their lives, both just accused, but committed heinous acts after purportedly having some serious mental distress.
Yeah. Joe, he also, continuing on that track, there are reports now from members of this book club that he started in Hawaii that the members grew disillusioned when he said he wanted everyone to read the writings of Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. Again, that radicalization and that you're beginning, a picture's coming into focus. It wasn't a sudden thing. It looks like a gradual descent for Mangione.
Yeah, and like I said, this is going over some time period over there, and they're saying, the family's wondering, and then there's friends, and then everybody says, oh, this can't be him. Yes, it can be him, because at what point does he become, so radicalized that he, starts planning these things? And, these individuals, they get bored. He has a great mind, they say. Well, they get bored. Well, go find something else to do. So you're getting bored and you start having a problem, maybe because of the back injury, maybe he was denied health claims. We don't know. I'm sure we will find out. And I'm sure there's more in that spiral book as well. But the thing is, was he in Altoona to plan the next step of this manifesto that he has? Was there somebody else in target? Because remember, Elizabeth, he did use the plural of parasites.
Right.
And the way he wrote it was in the past tense, like it was already committed and he had to do this. So, it's, to keep the gun, to keep everything with him, there's a little doubt that he may have been planning something bigger.
And Jennifer, there still remains the question, did he act alone? Even though he had become so isolated from friends and family, there is that video, that surveillance video showing him on the phone talking to somebody just moments before he allegedly shot and killed Brian Thompson.
Yes, certainly so. And also the big question remains, how did he know that Brian Thompson would be there exactly at that moment. He was there staged only, minutes before, according to reports. How did he know where he would be? That is something that they're definitely going to have to link together. Did he pick him up out of the airport when he arrived on Monday? And
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.